Hello dear students, in this video let us discuss about what's the difference between the wholesome water and safe water, need of protected water supply, and finally how the development has taken place of water supply and sanitation in India. Let us discuss about what is wholesome water and safe water. According to the Water Act 1991 and Section 67, the wholesome water means it should fit for using, drinking, cooking, food preparation, washing without any potential danger to the human life. That means there should not be any danger or ill health to the human. That kind of the water you can call it as a wholesome water. In the ancient days they were thinking that the wholesome water means you can take the water from the stagnated water body or otherwise the ground water wells, so that it is going to be sedimentation and filtration takes place, so it is not going to harm the human health if you use for the drinking, cooking, food preparation and for washing. Is called as the wholesome water. Then let us see what is the safe water. The safe water means it should not harm if it come in touch or in contact with it. This is the most common uses of the term applies in the drinking water. Generally, the safe water, the term we are going to use in the drinking water. It also implements or implies to the swimming and other purposes. That means the water, if you come in touch, that means touching means we will be drinking, we will be swimming and we will be bathing and we will be washing the clothes. For all these purposes, we have to touch the water and it should go inside the human being, inside the organisms also. It should not do any harm. Then such kind of the water we do call it as a safe water. So it should not give any danger. That kind of water you call it as a wholesome water. And it should not harm. There should not be any harm to the human being. Then such water you call it as a safe water. And let us see what is the need of protected water supply. So as we have discussed just now about the wholesome water and then safe water, whatever the water we do use for the domestic purpose, there should not be any health issues for the public when the water is used. Such kind of the water supply we are supposed to provide to the public. That's why we need the protected water supply. Then if you want to call the protected water supply, what are the probable properties it should have? It should be free from the impurities like sedimentary or suspended particles. There should not be any suspended particles or moving particles in the water. Then if it is free from those things, then it's useful for the water, for the domestic purpose. It was the initially thinking. Then later on, slowly as the growth or the population do increase and the urbanization do increase, the potable water, that means safe water, or I can call it as a drinking water. The people were imagining if you use the water from the wells and natural springs, it is a safe drinking water for the human. So if you use the water from the springs as well as the wells, the water is going to be stagnated. It is going to be stand still for a long time. so that the sedimentation takes place. Any flocks are there, that is going to settle down after the as the heat exchange takes place even under the water, because the temperature variation is going to be available. Due to that, the very fine particle gets flocculate and the suspended particles are going to be moved down. Then the top water we are going to take for the potable drinking water, and for the rest of the they were thinking that the wells and spring water was the potable water and which is healthiest for the human being. Then on this concept, when there as a runoff is available, the rainwater is available, impounding reservoirs were developed as the civilization is increased. Impounding reservoirs means there is a stagnated water body, the water is going to be stored for a long time, and then the top suspended particles were removed off and it settles down if some of these other particles are available, and then it was used for the drinking purpose. So they were treating that was a safe water which is available for the human beings. Later on they have imagined if the stagnation takes place, then it is going to filtration is taking place. So they have designed, are used their knowledge to develop the sand beds and the gravel beds to filter the water as soon as possible. So they have made the sand and the gravel, and they made it to move the water, let the water through these sand and gravel beds, and whatever the particles available that was locked in the gravel and the sand, and the water was filtered. Then that filtered water was treated. Was treated means was imagined that it's a good for the health and we can able to use. These are the artificially done things, we can say the man-made things, whereas the impounding reservoirs are also the man-made filtration process has take place. For the potable water from the wells and springs with the naturally available filtration takes filters, imagined as a naturally available filters, and then they were thinking that it has to be settled whatever the suspended particles has available, that was still available, the very fine particles after the filtration too. Then they have to think for the coagulation, that is before the treatment of the filtration of the water, it has to be pre-treated, and then only we can say that water is a safe drinking water. And the coagulation, in the coagulation they have added the some of the agents which enhances the which increases the like a filtration process, that a flocculation process. They have used the vegetable as a nirmali, which is shown beside in the figure. It's a naturally available. It's like those seeds were used, made into the powder and added in the water and stirred it off, and then it is kept like that, and then it has filled. The pre-treatment was taken place, and nowadays we are using for the suspended particles to make the settle at the bottom. We are using the alum. So this is the need to have the protection of the health, the public health. We need to have the protected water supply for the human being. And then still we do see like after this coagulation filtration, the people as urbanization or the civilization has taken place, they have identified minutely sized or the microorganisms which is not visible with the naked eye, are responsible for the diseases like cholera, typhoid, dysentery, and these are all the waterborne diseases they were feeling. And then so they came to understanding that this after the filtration coagulation process, it should be minute organism has to be killed, then only that water as called as a safe drinking water. So what we are supposed to do, the water should be disinfected. Infections has to be removed which are harm to the health of the public. Like for those purpose, disinfection means the chlorination, ozonation and UV rays and excess lime. These are the different methods were used initially for the public purpose, like a public supply, the protected water supply. Out of these four, mostly the chlorination as used. The some depending on the quantity of the water, the chlorine is added, depending on the distance is going to be traveled, and it is estimated and that much of the chlorine is added, and then it is supplied to the public. Coming to the ozone, like a oxidation has taken place, or the reverse osmosis process, are different methods available. Such kind of the things were used to give the safe drinking water for the public. And later on, UV rays were supplied to the through the water. Water is supplied through the or otherwise allowed to through the UV rays, and then microorganisms were killed, and then it was treated as a safe drinking water. In excess lime also can be added, so that this water is going to be filtered, and minute organisms were killed with this excess lime. This is the one of the method for the disinfections. So after the disinfection, only after filtration and after the coagulation, they were treating that microorganisms are available. These microorganisms should be killed and it should be taken for the drinking purpose, and then they were treating those water as a safe drinking water. Let us see the development of the water supply in the next video.